No, the first time Kevin Hart and I met was when he summoned me to his office, like a mogul would to an up and coming talent.
Yeah.
And he brought me onto his couch and made me wait 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then he told me that I was not his first choice or even his third, but that he would settle to work with me.
Honesty is key.
Yeah, and from there we had a very honest relationship where
Yep.
it was the beginnings of a prosperous relationship.
We wanted Jack Black.
Yeah. They couldn't get him scheduling conflict, so they settled for me. And I was very grateful for that.
Yeah. It's always weird when you think you're a big enough star to get whoever you want, and then those people you want turn you down. So kind of flipped on me. Yeah, kind of flipped on me. But Josh came up, and we were at the bottom of that barrel. At that time, it was the last.
It was either Josh or no movie.
Yeah, it was Josh or the movie doesn't get made.
No, I mean, right off the bat, we had an immediate chemistry.
We
We
knew.
We were immediately friends, and we immediately connected comedically on camera. Like, it was just one of those things where we jumped onto each other's rhythm, and when we weren't laughing, we were having a lot of fun and putting it out.
You know what else I say? Like, I know we're being silly, joking around now, but the one thing that stood out about Josh is, the way he broke down the material. Before we got to filming, when we were going through the scripts, when we were meeting with Jeremy and just kind of doing scenes and, his input. He always had input about his character, about Doug and this and would he be doing this? Well, shouldn't he do this at the time? It was always thinking so many steps ahead, and that comes from a guy who cares about his craft and, has knowledge in this particular field. So that's something that I noticed off the back. And when we got to set, that basically showed me that, this guy is not even going to be prepared when he comes to set. But, he's thinking so far along the lines that he wants to keep his character. He wants to make sure that his guy's on pace. His guy makes sense. And that made me go, okay, let me make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I don't ever want to fall behind what he's doing. So he kind of made me raise my game a little bit. And that's what you want. You want that out of your co-star, out of whoever's alongside you in the film. You want them to make you better. And in this case, a lot of people aren't going to believe this, but Josh made me better. And, I know that people wouldn't believe it because...
Why aren't they believing that?
Well, because I'm good now. But so that it's hard for me to believe that somebody could come in
I understand
and make me better. But Josh made me better. So I take my hat off to you
I guess.
for that. Yeah.
They were reading the script. We knew that we were going to have certain things that we had to do, including a football game. But what's a paragraph on page becomes 3 days on set, in cold rain, in mud, in crazy environments with Hall of Fame football players.
But the funniest physical stuff. I mean, Plunkett in that wheelchair on the football field is unbelievable. Affion on that football field.
We had truly one of the most incredible ensembles I've ever worked with, and
Ken Howard.
Ken Howard, everybody down to like number 90 on the call sheet brought their A game, and that's what makes this film so special. And it's got each of these characters on the page was funny, but it's got this unique sensibility that each of these amazing actors brought to their roles that takes it to a whole other level.
Where Josh comes and gives the speech at the wedding that we go to for like training. I'm just taking you to nod and smile, and the guy goes to give the best man speech.
Yeah, Josh Peck.
And he rips up the speech and he tries to freestyle it. He starts talking about his brother dying, what he died
And that was
from.
nothing on the page. I don't even know if that existed.
It wasn't scripted. It was him. Like, he was just supposed to go in and rip up a speech and try to do something and go, forget it, buddy. Wolverines, and give him a hug. And they let this guy go. And when I tell you, he was phenomenal. Phenomenal in that little space. We have so many of those moments in this movie, which is why we have a great movie. This is a hard rated R film, man. I'm excited about it. This is my first rated like hard R. This is a big deal. A big deal. So I really want people to go and see it because I guarantee you it's so much more than what they're expecting. So many people are expecting just that wedding is comedy, but it's so much more than that. We were talking about it earlier. It's so much more, so many levels to it.
I think this movie is so unbelievably funny, and we keep watching it. We've had the opportunity to go to a couple of screenings around the country to see audiences responding, and every time we leave these screenings, people are literally on the floor laughing, and I think it's got, it begins with us, but like I said, it's got so many unexpected twists and turns throughout it. Whether it's physical comedy, whether it's the comedy of our journeys, whether it's the comedy of these 9 groomsmen who each one is more eccentric than the next. It's one of those movies a la Bridesmaids or Hangover that brings the hard funny in a way that you're not expecting, especially against the backdrop of it being a wedding movie, which that term wedding comes with certain, expectations. It's going to be kind of tame, or this movie is anything but tame. It's gritty, it's out there, it's crazy, and it goes down the rabbit hole. And I think that unexpected element is what's making audiences embrace it so much and giving them the time of their lives in these theaters.